Alright guys, welcome back to Slayer Lineage Devlog episode 7. Today we'll be going over the base insect combat style. This will include the M1 stab chain, the M2 system, how poison charging works, how poison progresses in the body, how to counter it, and the clan factors that can change your resistance. As always, thank you guys for the support you guys have been showing on this devlog series. As a result of the posting of the last video, we hit 1.2 thousand subscribers, and we're close to hitting 700 members in the Discord server. It truly makes me happy to see that the community is growing. And one more thing before we get into the video, I'd like to give a special thanks to my Patreon members. I really appreciate it a lot, and it helps more than you guys really know. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so let's get into the first section, the M1 insect stab chain. Like always, it's a 5-hit sequence, with the 5th hit being a kick, which is the space creator knockback. But here's the twist. When your blade is poison dosed, your M1 trail turns purple, indicating that your blade is poisoned. This is connected to the poison level system, which I'll cover in this video after a couple more fundamentals. As for the block stance system, it remains the same along with the block animations. We went over this in Devlog episode 5. The block stance system. Every time you block an attack, your block stance will decrease. This was made to prevent block abuse for all players who use swords. But your block stance can be improved via training and exercise. Briefly, let's go over the next section, the M2 system. For the insect combat system, the M2 practically makes you sprout some butterfly wings, which are purely visual, and charges a heavy stab that breaks your enemy's guard. However, I'm still deciding if the M2 should inject poison into your enemy, or if I should just leave it at a powerful thrust. On to the next and unique system that hasn't been done before, charging poison, or what I call the Sheath mix. Here's the rundown. To arm your blade with poison, you hold down a key or button and mix the edge of your blade in the sheath. That fills your poison dose meter. I thought this would be a cool system to add because I noticed that in the anime, before initiating into combat, Shinobu would always mix her blade in her sheath to douse the tip of her blade with poison, as this was the method she used to kill demons as she didn't have enough raw power to behead them. But here's some different factors that I'm sure you guys are going to wonder about. Missing your thrust do not cost you poison dose, but if you hit the enemy, you spend poison dose to increase the enemy's poison level. If you have no poison meter when you stab them, there's no progression. It's as simple as that. But with that, on to the next section. Poison progression. Most games, including my own originally, slap a purple aura on you and call it a day. But I myself, and people in my community, wanted something more in body and realistic. So I made this never done before system myself. Your character has a poison level from 0 to 10. As your poison level rises, your skin tone actually shifts towards purple. But not too much though. Also, your tick frequency increases, and there's a couple side effects that worsen. Let's go over all the poison stages, shall we? If your poison level is between 2 and 4, the tick is every 5 seconds. If your poison level is between 5 and 7, there's a tick every 3 seconds. But if your poison level is between 8 and 10, the tick is every 1.5 seconds. Those are the time intervals for the poison stages, but let's go into the actual effects. Stage 1. Every tick you lose 1 HP, 2 stamina, and 8 breath. And this is every so often. For stage 2, you lose 2 HP, 3 stamina, and 12 breath. The coughs are a lot more often, and yes, there's a lot more ketchup splatter. At stage 3, you lose 3 HP, 4 stamina, and 16 breath per tick. There's a lot more coughs, and your body starts to also take damage at a cellular level, which can lead to bleeding. And I also forgot to mention that after stage 2, your health regen stops. At that point, you best do something to stop the poison. And that's a great hook for our next section, counter plan recovery, or how to stop the poison. Let's break this down by race. Slayers have 2 main tools as of right now. Breathing can reduce the poison progression during combat, and the concentration healing actually reduces the poison at the fastest rate. It costs attention and resources, but it works. This can also be seen visually when breathing. However, as for demons can regenerate to push poison out, as long as they have stamina, that is. But here's the catch, poison also drains stamina, so lesser demons can get stuck in a bind. They can't regenerate, can't run, they gotta choose, eat or perish. I'm also thinking of adding some antidote style items for clutch cleanses. Maybe store-bought, maybe craftable. We'll see how I feel about that. And before I forget, lowering your poison level can ultimately lead to your skin tone changing back to its original shade, so you're not stuck walking around with a purple skin tone. Well, it's more like a tint, not really purple exactly. Now, onto our next and final section of this video, clan factors and poison resistance. Not all bloodlines react the same. Some clans have better toxin endurance. For example, the Hashibira clan, naturally stubborn. As Inosuke is the walking demon slayer Tarzan, he was raised by boars, and he was exposed to the harsh mountainside, which in turn led to him building resistance against a lot of poisons. And then we have the Uzui clan, who as a naturally trained shinobi has built tolerance to poison. So with that said, these clans when they're poisoned, their poison level will progress slower than others, ultimately taking it longer for them to actually suffer from the effects of the poison than your normal person. But with all that said, that brings us to the end of this video. I'm recording this conclusion about 10 hours later, as this video took me all day to edit. Thank you guys for watching, subscribing, liking, and sharing the video is always greatly appreciated. Thanks as always, and until next time. The Slayer Lineage Devlog, Episode 8.